I hadn't started yet, McGraw. Good morning, everyone. So, some excitement this morning, no doubt. Markets selling off. As always, we put it in perspective of the chart, trend, multiple time frames. What didn't seem epic and the moment may or may not be. This is starting out to be a pretty large bar, and we'll see where it goes from here. It's right on the edge of support, as you can see, and this has been marked off for days. There was the initial sell-off down to it and the amazing recovery, which set up a shakeout, a correction bar, which I had spoken about potentially happening the day before over here. Did not expect it to be such a large bar. And yesterday, our discussion was about range contraction. And we got that yesterday. And now today, we got a range expansion, which is pretty indicative of a market in a stage of uncertainty and some craziness going on. I'm not sure myself. I didn't look at the news as to why the market is down as it is today. I know Microsoft was up, but you know, the market has been somewhat frothy as measured by the put call ratio for some time. We see prices moving memorable of 1999 in certain stocks where they were going straight up. This GameStop is certainly a representation of those times, and we'll see where this goes. But just to kind of review the craziness of that, and we've got these Robinhood traders, this uh, group on Reddit, Wall Street Bets. Nothing wrong with speculation and making money. Just have to be educated and know what you're dealing with and the potential dangers, because we've seen this many times. And here's Tilray that went from 20 to 300 and crashed back down and just went through this death trend. So I don't know what's up with this GameStop, but I'll tell you, when it settles down, and I don't know where it'll be today, where it ends. You can see here what it's doing pre-market at crashed down from getting close to 365, finding support at 200. At some point, this stock is going to follow the path of Tilray, and it will be again, a shorting opportunity to follow this thing as it goes down. Um, and the great thing about these is that when they start going down like that, they just do it in a way that is systematic. The volatility contracts for the most part, and it just goes into what we call a death trend. Now, in 1999 into 2000, we saw many people short stocks like Tilray, GameStop, and lose everything. And eventually the stocks went to zero. So, this isn't a casino, and everybody should take it seriously and have a trading plan. And I don't know where this thing's going to end today, but clearly it's beginning with a crack in the wall. And we'll see if it breaks this at some point. I believe it will, but who knows if it revisits somewhere between here and here, in the next day, today or next day or two. So, all right, let's see where the markets are at. Rec is terrible. All right. So Tony's saying about the internals. Um, and good morning. And we've been talking about this for a while, the deteriorating breadth. I was talking about this since the end of last year. Breadth deteriorating and sentiment staying up, markets just continuing to hold up. And, things are gapping down here. And, so just associating SPX with the futures here and that level, if it's down at this bottoming tail bar, the odds of recovery from this push up here yesterday and coming down here are relatively slim, but we shall see. Um, So let's start mine. SPX levels. Let's just get through this first. So this is on support. Right? We always look to the left. What's going to stop prices from going down? What's going to stop prices from going up? And so this area here, as you can see, that little congestion area right to the left there, ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised to see that tested before prices pop back up again on the futures coming down to this low. You can see that they're trying to hold here, just jiggling around, but we'll see. So going to SPX today, what you need to do, right? It's unlikely there's not going to be any premium up here, but if there is, it's probably a no-brainer, which means odds are probably close to 90+% that the S&P will not get back up there. So if there's premium up there, what you do is you go to the option table and you look to see where's the premium. Look to see where's the greatest open interest between here and here. And since it's gapping down, there's nothing to the left. So how do you figure out what you can lean against? That's the hard part. So, the option table can help. It's coming down here. I was going to say 3,800. If it gets below 3,800, I'm going to need to see how much it drops further, if it does or not. But picking the levels here on the upside, I think it'll initially be difficult. Down below, you're going to want to get, I'm thinking, down below 37.40. Jake is saying 37.50. I would look to see if there's premium down around 37.40, get a little extra to lean against this support. And, better to be safe and take a little less than try and make a little bit more and potentially be in a very painful situation, which can easily happen with credit spreads on this leveraged instrument. The attraction is they're going to expire today. So picking those points and, picking them relatively early in the day, it puts you at an advantage because of the time decay. Whereas you might think, well, if it gets down there, the premium goes up. But what you come to find out is that if it goes down there slow, by the time it gets there, the premium's already eroded because of the time decay. So options are quite the interesting instrument. All right. So Mike is asking about GME levels. Hard to say. I mean, you can see it's finding support here at 200, the whole number. We're consolidated pre-market. So what if it can get below that, there's nothing to stop it. But right now, it's stable. It's stable there. And that'll be resistance. And we'll just have to see how it plays out. All right, let's take a look at the other markets. NASDAQ futures. Again, what makes this more bearish, and we'll see where it ends, but is the fact that it popped above to make a new high, and now it's taken out yesterday's low. The next area of support is right here. So, 13,300. They'll be similar to what I said with the ES, maybe one not last, but another push lower at the open into this support level, and then we see how far it's going to bounce. And major support is way down here, so this can do some damage without violating the uptrend on the daily chart. We shall see where this goes today. The weekly chart obviously is still strong, and last week's bars low is pretty far away. All right, YM down 350 here. That is broken. Right, it's down here at major support. I wrote about this in the letter over the weekend, what was going on here, and said it was critical that it's hold, and it's not. So there's cracks in the wall, and I wrote about that. There was Canada rolling over. Europe wasn't moving up with these markets. Mexico was rolling over. The dollar was beginning to strengthen. But, all of those things are heads up. The market doesn't crack until it cracks. So anyway, the Russell, which has been the strongest, new high failure and breaking below support here, finding some buyers on the 20 MA, which at this point is subjective because there really isn't much to the left here. So the next level of support is down here at around 2050. Now above is resistance. Bonds typically go in the other direction, and so they are. But still in the lower half of the wide range breakdown bar, and that's our factory work. And crude oil is down a bit. More like a bull flag than anything of significance as far as correcting. Gold obviously is down. Just looking for this to possibly get above here and a head and shoulders type of a bottom. Maybe it's still working. Not there yet. No trigger long, so nothing, no harm done. Similar with silver. See the euro here continues to weaken, which means the dollar is strengthening, which is not what the market wants right now. And we covered that in prior videos. And the transports yesterday had an ugly day. So plenty of warning signs out there. And, internals, which you've covered. And lastly, I want to just leave you before leaving it with Dan, is that I've also written in the letters the underpinnings of this market are still solid, meaning whatever happens here in the next weeks or month or whatever, this chart says at some point it's going to be okay to buy that dip. Where that ends up, we'll see. But historically, as long as this yield curve is above this here and moving up, buying after a correction will prove to be a good thing to do. All yours, Dan.
All right, good morning. Yeah, Gary, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, this is definitely all the talk. These, you call them cyber traders, or that post did. And it is a very good discussion, actually, in terms of, I heard one guy talking, let's look at this AMC. I heard one guy on CNBC talking to Joe Kernan, and, it's pretty clear that these Reddits, as Greg said, Wall Street, Robinhood, you got a group of people there that are viewing the market as a casino, and they're using their social media to pump and dump. I don't read those things, but I've seen some on TV and they've newspaper and people have been sending them to me. And, you got crazy things. One guy said, I'm not selling my GME until it hits 1,000. And you got all these people. There's one on AMC. Just buy it. One came out today. Buy AMC. It's the next GME. Are you effing kidding me? This thing went from $2 and it's at 22, and it's going from $5 to 22. And you are now you're sending out a text alert, a blog, whatever you call them. You're sending out a blog saying to buy it now. And you just got morons listening to that. So in my opinion, it totally is a pump and dump using social media. But so the one guy on TV said, okay, Joe, but how is that any different than the short funds, those research companies and short funds that come out and put a trash report out in the public trying to generate bearish interest because that lines their pocket because they're heavily short the stock. And Joe's like, yeah, that's a good point. So it is is a very interesting subject right now. And even some woman from the NASDAQ, I think, was on the TV saying, yeah, we are looking into this right now. So who knows what will come out of it. But this is just insanity. AMC was on the verge of bankruptcy, obviously, coronavirus, movie theaters shut down, and it goes from 2 to 22. This GME, wow, look at it ripping pre-market. Man, oh man, oh man. Look at that. It's doubling. This totally reminds me of Tilray. 2 days ago, it went from 60 to 160, and I thought that was the high. Now it's doubling again. The post that Roger or Gary rather just said that they're losing $30 million. They don't make money, and now it has a market cap of $10 billion. Yeah, Arun, that's why I'm spending a lot of time talking about it. Yeah, we're short the calls, but I made it very, very clear that it's not a typical income trade because we had no stop and we were willing to be core shorted. So yes, it is way against us right now, and yes, we have that's our only problem child. Um, Many of our open, we're predominant. Other than this, we got a couple of call spreads on Square, Peloton, and those are all fine. A lot of red in the other positions, but none of my alarms have actually gone off. So, there's no disasters other than this GME. Any thoughts, track time, Brian, on put spread? No, Franklin, there's no pattern. So there's no pattern. Um, all right, so if you have any questions on any other opens, but yeah, we'll be watching this. Yes, it's a problem trade. I never dodge problems, but we need more information. Um, what's your question, Matul? It helps if you all ask me. Um, Frank, I just said I have no idea. I need more information. If you, I don't know. I have no strategy right now. We have to let it. It's a crazy, crazy 100% gap. I need more time. Wow, I have never, ever, ever in my trading career seen a short squeeze like this. This thing just popped $170 in 15 minutes. I mean, I'm in it too, folks. So I'm feeling the pain. But I entered it saying I'll hold it as a core short. I don't think this thing I'm not a fundamental trader, but I'm willing to sit through it. But wow, that's all I can say is I've never seen a short squeeze like this in my life. All right, IWM. What was your question on IWM? Are we holding IWM puts? No, Matul. No, we stopped out break even 2 days ago when I tightened the stop after it made a new high. And Greg and I made it very clear 2 days ago. We're like, something's weird. We're not liking things. And I said, you know what? I'm going to move this stop break even just as an insurance policy. So we stopped out break even 2 days ago. If you're in it now, um, it's a bearish gap under this green bar. So I would use the well, Matul, I'm not sure if you're a subscriber, but you got to okay. Well, then we sent it by Telegram. So I don't know what to say. So I would use 30-minute low then. All right, let's look at gappers here. EXPR, I mean, look, just another sign of craziness. I don't know what this stock does. It blasted off from $1 and now it's at $8 in 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days. It went from 1 to 8. I mean, that's cool. This I said yesterday, I was quoting that Gartman letter. He was saying that he has never seen such signs of I'm paraphrasing, such signs of crazy bullishness, ridiculous bullishness. And definitely seeing, we saw it in the put call ratio, which is why we've been warning. But what I'm saying is, in addition, is in the individual things, like all these things that are just rocketing, like I just showed you, 800%. AMC. I would love to talk to the man or woman who just bought AMC pre-market at 26. I mean, seriously, I would like to get them in a Zoom meeting, get them in our green room here, and ask rather, can you please tell me why you bought it at 26 bucks? I genuinely want to know the answer. Is it because, I've read 18 Reddit things and they're saying I better buy it? And if that's the case, then you deserve yourself. MGM for Andreas. It's rolling over. Yeah, that was actually on my short list yesterday. But I'm not going to come out of the gate shorting here. We gotta wait. When you get big gaps, we got to see what the bounce is going to be. We got to, like Greg said, I might favor one more downside little shakeout, and then scalp long. So, but yeah, you can put it on the list. Look at this UFO. I just saw this going by the ticker. This is an ETF I didn't know about, for space stuff. But that's a nice. It was a nice uptrend until today's gap down. iClean also is a, you know, clean energy IPO. Look, that's a climactic sell setup on the monthly. Look at that, $9 to 32. That and solar has been going up with Biden stuff. But now we had a bearish gap, another bearish gap, a retest, gap and under it. So this looks like a short-term top to me. ICLN. Uh, Carlos, very rarely I will send out a telegram saying either to enter something, more so if it's a core trade, or to get out of something. I will send an alert saying, hey, something's gapping up huge. Go ahead and sell half right now pre-market. So we do, but it's kind of rare. AMCX, I heard Joe Kernan saying that there's some kind of speculation that just because the word AMC is in this, that it might be going up, because of this AMC, like just another sign of craziness. And there's been other similar stories like that. This UONE, remember, this was a black-owned radio station. Look at this. Remember, look at it. You want to see signs of speculation? Look at that. This is when the Black Lives Matter movement was coming on. And I remember there were three in particular, three public companies that made just crazy moves like this, because of the BLM movement. Came back to earth. It's sloppy, but it's gapping way the heck up here. I don't know, no interest. This one, I wish it wasn't gapping as much, because this is a multi-month trading range that's gapping it's gapping up here, 1180. But if it were gapping just up to like 950, then I would give a 30-minute high. That would have been a beautiful gap breakout. Sol gapping down 2 days ago was a bull trap, So that could be a call spread candidate. Plug looked great yesterday. I don't know what's going on here, but now that's a bull trap gapping under yesterday's high. Extended weekly, monthly. You can keep an eye on that. For a call spread, tell. A number of these were earnings, no pattern. Texan earnings. That's an ugly gap, but no pattern.
On call spread might be worth covering early from yesterday.
On what?
Wasn't it Piton? One I told you about yesterday, I thought it was Piton.
Yeah, we got Piton and Square. Square, I already moved the stop to 30-minute high. But let me check this. Well, I said bid 10 cents a share for half. Let's see if that hit. Are you in? We have a put spread. That alarm went off. So that's to the downside alarm.